Jamaica by Megan Rusevich. One tradition in Jamaica is called Nine Night. It is similar to a wake and is a funerary tradition where the family and friends of a person who has died gather to celebrate the life of their loved one. It's a positive ceremony to allow friends and family to express their love for the departed and say their goodbyes. It typically takes place from the night after the person has died until the night before their burial. A main difference is many Jamaicans believe that after death, the spirit, or duppy, of the deceased person stays in the area for a time. According to legend, the spirit takes 9 nights to rest and find peace. Food is brought and music is played. On the ninth night, a table is set up with food, especially for the departed family member. No one may eat from this table until after midnight, when it is believed the spirit has passed through. White tablecloths are often used to signify purity. On the final night, friends and family bid farewell to the duppy, and the spirit is then believed to have passed from this world. Another common practice is to turn up the mattress of the loved one and place it against a wall to prevent the spirit from coming back. It's not done in a negative way, but because the family and friends feel the responsibility to help their loved one find their final resting place so that they may be at peace. Other traditions include the pregnancy and birth traditions. One of them is the umbilical cord of a newborn baby may be buried and a tree planted on the spot. This tree is called the birth tree or the navel string tree. It is usually a source of great pride to children as they are growing up. It also indicates an unbreakable connection with the land on which the tree is planted. An open Bible is often placed in a newborn's crib or bed to protect the baby and ward off evil. The Bible is usually left open at a spawn. A red string may be tied around a newborn's wrist or in the hair. This is to run duppy or chase ghosts away and ward off evil. Many parents will not cut an infant's hair before the child has started to speak. It is believed that cutting the hair will delay the start of speech. The fingernails of an infant should not be cut with scissors, as this might make the child grow up to be a thief. A pin may be used, as the fingernails at that stage are very soft. New mothers are encouraged to stay indoors for a few days so as not to catch a baby cold. It used to be customary for both mother and newborn baby to be isolated for 8 days after birth. An expecting mother is believed to mark her child with the things she craves during pregnancy. So if the mother craves mangoes, the baby is likely to be born with a birthmark resembling a mango. It is said that a pumpkin vine will bear abundantly if a pregnant woman steps over it, and also if a lizard jumps on a woman, it means she is pregnant or will soon become pregnant. One custom in Jamaica are meetings and greetings. A common greeting is a handshake with direct eye contact and a warm smile. They use appropriate salutation for the time of day, as in good morning, afternoon, or night. Once a friendship is established, women may hug and kiss each other on the cheek, always starting on the right. Men often pat each other's shoulder or arm during a greeting process or during conversation. They are always to wait until invited before using someone's first name, and as the friendship increases, they may be asked to call the person by their nickname. Another custom are the dining customs. You are not to sit until you are invited to and told where to sit. The fork is held in the left hand and knife is held in the right hand. Meals are often served buffet style. You are not to begin eating until the host invites you to start. You are to try everything since it demonstrates graciousness, and it is considered polite to finish everything on your plate. There are many different types of entertainment in Jamaica, including jonkonu, music, theater, and literature. Jonkonu is more than just a celebration. It is the island's oldest style on record of dance and musical tradition. While it is associated with Christmas festivities, it is not a religious test. Specific dances are given to the dancers, each with their own role and character to portray. Pitchy-patchy dancers have small quick steps and turn cartwheels. They move in large circular patterns. The dancer with a cow head moves in bucking motions and is usually low to the ground. The dancer with the devil part alternates small bouncy steps with much longer ones and makes quick turns and jabs with his pitchfork. The belly woman, sometimes considered to be a negative image of mulatto women, makes movements with her belly in time with the music. The most popular form of music in Jamaica is reggae, which has a sound so easy to enjoy that it has gained popularity throughout the world. Jamaican folk music has come from many sources over the years. The most notable influence on many of the sounds found there is Africa, in celebrations of birth, death, and harvesting. Jamaica has a very rich theater history. The first theater on the island opened in the 17th century and hosted theater troupes from Europe and America. Local performances were not popular at first, but soon writers on the island found their niche in discussing social issues and the popularity boomed. Now there are more than half a dozen theaters on the island, and visitors are encouraged to stop and see a play or musical. The literature in Jamaica started with folk tales told as a form of oral history passed down from generation to generation, often as cautionary tales to youths to hear and heed. Today, local dialect is interwoven to create pieces of written work that is unlike anything you'll find elsewhere in the world. It is a discussion of social issues that catapults local literature to the top. Religion in Jamaica is mainly Christian, with 64%. There is also Jehovah's Witness, Rastafarians, Muslims, Buddhists, Hindus, and Jews. Rastafarians are members of a Jamaican Messianic movement that began in the 1930s. They believe the only true God is the late Ethiopian Emperor Haile Selassie, also known as Rastafari, and the true Holy Land is Ethiopia. They place great emphasis on spirituality and meditation and the individual. The Protestant language has a sacred text including the Catholic version of the Bible. It formed when Martin Luther broke off from the Roman Catholic Church and is one of the three major branches of Christianity. Jamaica's official language is English, but they primarily speak an English-based Creole language with Western African influences known as Jamaican Patois. Here is an audio clip example.
Then green. Them have to chop off. Oh, them have to chop off? I don't know if them have to chop off. I don't know. And then we ripe up on the tree to chop off. When you put it on the plate, you don't know so you can put it in plant flowers in it. Yeah, man, the pot, the toilet. Oh, the beer.
The people in this clip were talking about the plants on their farm. Here are some written examples of the language. Top of the top means a well-respected person. Small up yourself is an expression used when one wants to pass another but the space is inadequate. Rundi road means to be in control or in charge of an area. We have di tinglak means we are in control. The currency in Jamaica is the Jamaican dollar, and one Jamaican dollar is equal to 0.0087 US dollars. 25% of people work in agriculture, 25% in finance, real estate and services, 10% work in manufacture and trade, roughly 30% work in public administration and defense. Jamaica has a profitable mining industry and is the leading producer of bauxite and alumina. Some make a living by being higglers, which are people who buy inexpensive goods overseas and then sell them for a substantial profit on sidewalks. Jamaica has the economic system of trade and services. Their economy is heavily dependent on services and derives most of its foreign exchange from tourism and mining. The most important crop is sugarcane. Others include bananas, citrus fruits, and yams. Smaller farms produce ginger, cocoa, pimento, ackee, chickens, and goats. Their economy is mainly made up of tourism, bauxite, and sugar. Jamaica is governed by a constitutional parliament democracy, governed under the Constitution of 1962. They have a 21-member Senate and a 60-member House of Representatives. The Prime Minister is the head of government, while the head of state is the British monarch. There are two main political parties, the Jamaica Labour Party, which generally favors private enterprise, while the People's National Party advocates a moderate socialism. In social life in Jamaica, women are often highly respected, but men are seen as head of the household. They place great importance on man's virility and a woman's fertility. They marry and begin lives together very young, and to not have children soon after marriage is considered unusual. People tend to be casual, open, and friendly in relationships. They have great national pride and are known for their sense of humor. Social problems include racial tensions and class struggles. Another social problem is caused by the debate between marijuana in that, although it is illegal, it is considered sacred and used in ceremonies with religions, such as Rastafarianism. The government's actions against its cultivation and use are often seen as superficial. One current struggle in Jamaica is the environment. Coastal waters have been polluted by sewage, oil spills, and industrial wastes. The mining of bauxite contaminates groundwater with red mud waste. Land erosion and deforestation are other issues. Coral reefs have been damaged, and not everyone has access to clean drinking water. Poverty is also an issue in Jamaica. They have an unemployment rate of 11.5%, and over 19% of the population is below the poverty line. Their government lacks sufficient funding to help lower the classes through social reform. In the 1970s, the government started building low-income housing but never finished the project. Many homeless people still sleep in these partially constructed buildings anyway. There was an economic recession where, because of the budget deficit, welfare payments were cut, which affected the lower class drastically. When there was political violence in the 90s, tourism dropped, which hurt the economy. Children are very big victims of poverty. If parents have handicapped kids, they usually abandon them because they cannot afford the extra expenses to take care of them. For public education, children are charged a registration fee, which is like a tuition that covers uniforms, lunch, and books. Poor citizens cannot afford this, so they do not send their children to school. Children who do not go to school are also denied health care, since after age 3, health care is provided at school. One last issue in Jamaica is human rights. They are ranked 101 out of 177 countries by United Nations Development Program. They are listed as a medium human development category and lower end in the Caribbean. Crime and violence occur often. In 2005, there were 1,650 homicides and 1,500 in 2007. A lot of their schools and institutions are failing since so few can afford to go, and inner city communities are troubled by gangs that are well armed.